Brexit campaigner Charles-Henri Gallois launched a stark warning to the EU about the way it is handling the Brexit trade talks in an exclusive interview with Express. Just hours after he returned from another London trip that did not yield any results in the Brexit talks, the EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier launched a blistering attack on the UK. In a speech to Irish think tank the Institute of International and European Affairs on Wednesday, Mr. Barnier said London had refused to make even the most basic concessions needed to meet the EU's preconditions for a deal. In particular, he named fisheries and the so-called level playing field as the most sensitive issues in the talks. In recent weeks, pessimism has mounted in Brussels over the prospects of a deal, which the French politician said must be reached by October to be in place for the end of the UK's transition period on December 31. On the other hand, British negotiators argue that unless Brussels gives way on state aid rules, the UK would be better off leaving without an agreement in place. Last month, the UK's chief negotiator David Frost said that the bloc's position was now that talks could not substantively progress in any area until the UK backs down and accepts continuity with EU state aid and fisheries policy. Downing Street, determined in particular to have leeway on state subsidies to assist the coronavirus recovery, insists it will do no such thing. In an exclusive interview with Express.co.uk, French politician and Brexit campaigner Charles-Henri Gallois hit out at Brussels for the way it is handling the negotiations. Mr. Gallois, who has recently launched a new campaign named Generation Frexit, argued the EU is making a mistake not to cave in to British demands. He said, "I think the UK is negotiating well. Boris Johnson has made clear that he will not accept a bad deal. And for this reason, I think it is very likely they will leave without an agreement. The EU wants to punish Britain for leaving so that other countries will not follow suit. But if you look at the figures and the trade surplus and deficit on both sides, the EU has so much more to lose under a no deal than the UK." Mr. Gallois added, "It doesn't mean the UK will not suffer at all. But for example, Germany has €40 billion £35.6 billion trade surplus with the UK. You see, they have so much more to lose. The UK has an £80 billion deficit with the EU. If they want to blow trade with Britain, it is on them."